The Slasher Generation, a generation of young creatives obsessed with success and all things entrepreneurial, dreaming of becoming the next big thing with their startup businesses and brilliant ideas. We sit down with two young business starters to see what all the fuss is about and get a true insight into the reality of working for yourself. Aziza Green is a marketing manager at UTS who recently completed her Masters of Creative Writing. She has just recently opened an online store specialising in leather goods after a trip to Bali inspired her creativity. She gives us an insight into the ins and outs of her world as a slasher.
I suppose for me, I didn't have some big dream about design or some big sort of fantasy about having any sort of business. It was more a case of recognising that there's opportunity in this day and age to kind of do little side businesses for kicks and to make a little bit of money. And the wonderful thing is, I think I belong to quite a large church community, and I have quite a lot of friends in a lot of different spaces, and I found that's been really beneficial, and sort of a big impetus to starting as well was knowing that I had friends who could help me with the website or help me with like the e-commerce site or help me rebrand things. I have friends who are graphic designers. I have a beautiful friend who's a blogger who just out of the blue offered to do all the photography for me and styled it and everything, and just sort of no expectations of anything, just like out of friendship and love, and that was really beautiful. And I think that's been one of the most rewarding things about it, is sort of realising you have all these networks and these people who genuinely want you to win and don't have any agenda. I know I'd be willing to help people who, are starting up their blogs or starting up their businesses. Maybe, small business on the side, if that's a great way. For me, I think that's a great way to start, in particular when you've got a life full of other things that you want to do. I just find it a much more manageable way to do things.
Milani Biasetto is a full-time retail assistant who recently completed her Certificate 4 in Design at TAFE. She is about to open the homewares business that she's always dreamed of, but is facing some hardship along the way. She is one of many Australians trying to juggle working life with entrepreneurial projects.
I suppose I really just wanted to have something that's my own. I suppose it's ideal situation to work for yourself and to somehow not have to work the 9 to 5. Yeah, I think there's a lot of, I know for me, like I want to start an online homewares business, which recently 2 couples that we know have started an online homewares business, and then another person has opened a shop that's homewares, and it's a little bit like daunting because you sort of, fishing from the same friend pool. The hope is that you have something different to what other people have. Working for yourself, it's probably not going to look like having a coffee every morning and starting at 12. Yeah, ideally that's what I would like to do, but it's a bit hard. Talk to anyone, and the first thing obviously they ask, what are you doing? And for me, I have to say full-time retail, and then think, oh my gosh, like what a crap job, like I need to do something else. It's motivated me to move faster with my business. I wouldn't have done it without that pressure. I feel like it was always something that I wanted to do. Once I had that dream and had that vision, people give you that sort of perception of pressure, and whether that's all in your head or whether that's actual pressure is, I suppose, up for interpretation. Yeah, people definitely influence your choice and definitely pressure you into feeling like what you're doing isn't enough. If you're an accountant, like everyone's like, oh, cool. Silence. And then, yeah, I think definitely influences you to push on and push faster. I think that everyone has that thing inside them that wants to express themselves and without sounding like derogatory, sell themselves as well. I think the internet has definitely made it a lot easier for people who generally or might not otherwise be able to do that. But I think it's also, I know for me, while researching and while trying to put together a website, it's also almost been discouraging at the fact that you can find, you know, so much stuff on the internet and so much, you know, there's big companies, but there's also little companies, and you think you're the only one doing that thing, but then you look and you find 10 other people and you're like, oh my gosh, who am I? What am I trying to express?